Broadcasting from the Dundrum Town Centre, this is Dublin South FM.
Welcome to the Business Eye with Joe Dalton and Stephen Murtagh. Welcome, guys. We've got a full house today. There's a few people looking a bit worried. There's nothing to be worried about. This is nice and easy. Emer Duffy, very good to have you back, Fit Social Media.
Thank you very much.
And we've Philip Twyford from The Curly Marketer.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, absolutely. And Vicky from Marketing. I'm gonna struggle with this one. My apologies. Markovating.
That's it.
I didn't do too bad,
There you
actually.
go.
And obviously Joe's here and I'm here. So welcome.
I have Facebook Live on and I have no idea if it's actually working. No idea. I just walked it out. We could be just talking. So
We'll wing it.
We'll wing it.
We'll just wing it and
That's
see what
it.
happens. Yeah.
All I'm concerned about is my battery's charging because that really matters a lot to me.
Oh, yeah.
It is, yeah. That's the whole gang of it, everything. So how is everybody?
Wonderful. Great to be here. Yeah.
First
Great.
time on radio?
First time on radio. Yeah.
First time.
First time?
Looking like two naturals already. There's no doubt about it. Looking like two
I was hoping the'd be more video. Yeah. Looking on camera. Yeah.
I got my hair done for no reason.
Absolutely. These all look beautiful.
I'm
Just do.
paired with Facebook Radio. There you are.
On it. Tell me this. The reason why we asked this all in, it's want to talk about social media, want to talk about Facebook, want to talk about LinkedIn, and we want to talk about Twitter. And as business owners, everybody is trying to shout out there and get their message across. And it's saturated. We can get bored. Sometimes I get fed up myself on social media. Sometimes I feel like I'm a peacock sticking my feathers up in the back, waving with my chest out. And I kind of go, this is a pain in the ass. So Facebook has changed its rules and they're rechanging them again. Twitter has changed the amount of characters that you can use as well. And I get the impression on LinkedIn are coming more like Facebook because not as many people are seeing posts as they used to be because their algorithms are changing. So Vicky, I'll start with you on LinkedIn. Give us your spin on the whole thing.
Well, LinkedIn, I think the organic reach on posts is actually very, very good. The reach on articles, not so much. So my probably big LinkedIn tip for articles is to absolutely keep doing the articles, but take snippets out of the article and put them in as posts and recycle them.
Yeah, because I was told write an article and then post that article as well.
Yeah.
So
post
I'm doing
snippets
that.
of it. Yeah.
But I like my articles wouldn't get as many views.
But you know what's
or hits on
ironic
it.
about that is because I do a lot of articles and I get more connection requests as a result of the articles, even though the likes are far less, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think people are reading an article probably are going to go, well, actually, there's a bit of value here. And I think I would post it in groups as well. I use groups a lot. You know, well, that's a good
Groups on LinkedIn are a bit dead.
Yeah.
What I use groups for is to find my ideal prospect in a group and try and connect with them based on the fact that we're both in the same group. So whenever I connect on LinkedIn, I always connect with commonality. So if I'm reaching out to somebody, I don't just reach out cold. I try and put a bit of commonality in and say, oh, we're in the same group, or, you know, I've met Joe before and I see you're connected with him. Be great to connect. Stuff like that.
So this is on Messenger.
This is on LinkedIn connecting. When you're
But in iMessage, are you doing that directly to a post or in the group itself?
This is if I use groups to find people I want to connect with.
Have a private conversation with them.
Yeah, and
But
then
you can
I
also
connect with them. I connect
much
with them.
easier.
Yeah, you can connect with them. So that's where I use the commonality feature.
I use the
you
same.
know?
I do that quite a bit as well, actually.
Yeah, it's a good one to use.
I posted one this morning, an article, and I think it was 8 likes on it. 6 of people I never met before or didn't know, and I got connections from 4 of them.
Yeah.
So
it's
it is
a good
less,
technique.
but it does work more.
It does.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And here is if you use Boolean search on LinkedIn, you type in such and such people in. On Facebook, can you do the same? Like looking for architects or looking for doctors or whoever. Can you use that same sort of search on Facebook to try and do your target audience, or is it a bit difficult?
It's a little bit more difficult now. You certainly, if you're going down the advertising route, you can. Yes.
Yeah, because the insights.
Yeah, the insights, etc. Like certainly on the LinkedIn scenario is something that's worked really well for me, because I sort of kind of went away a bit from LinkedIn about a year ago, and I came back to it, and I changed up my strategy. And this is what I say to all of my clients is video. Because what I have found is, and I think this is right across the board in all of the social media channels, is that people want authenticity again. They want, to a certain level of extent, that kind of sense of getting to know the individual or the business. And certainly video is something, and I know LinkedIn are very much, with eventually bringing everybody into the live video scenario. But I've noticed since I've started to post up native video,
or rustic, as I call it.
Or rustic, etc. And also, I suppose, trying to put a post with the video that's almost like a mini blog post, giving some core learnings and being strategic about the people you tag. So, for example, I'll tag with my video people who I think are going to get real benefit from it. And that does increase the shareability and the relevance to that.
Here's the question then. I used to keep Facebook as just my personal network.
Yeah.
And I had about 200 people in it. But as things are changing, there's more and more people now connecting with me. So is your own personal one coming a business tool as well, or is it just coming in as...
I do think,
because pages don't work. Pages aren't...
No, like for me, yes, because the curly marketer is essentially Philip Twyford. I feel I'm representing what my business is representing, so my ethos, my brand values. And that's what I say to business as well. While you do have maybe a business LinkedIn account, it is going to be, say, Michael or John or Sarah who are making the connections and the relationships to represent your business.
It's a personal brand.
It is a personal brand.
It is a personal brand, definitely.
But yeah, was it yourself, and one of your messages was, it is personal, and put up pictures of people. That's it.
It is, because
not cats.
you won't actually, I've learned that, I love social media, but I have found that I still get business from people who are recommending me because of either their experience of working with Philip.
Yeah, it's the referrals.
Yeah, it's not the curly marketer, it's you.
Yeah,
it is. It's like all of us in that.
There is no data out there to show that you can get business from posting a video. There is no data to show out there that you get business from doing podcasts. Yeah. No, but there's no real. It's the conversation afterwards and the amount. But what I'm trying to get at is that there's no data out there. That data-wise, that the amount of people that are putting up videos that aren't getting business outweighs the amount of business people are getting from video.
It does, but I mean, as I look at it, in the last 12 months, 95% of the work I've done has come directly from LinkedIn.
Oh yeah,
as a
LinkedIn, because we talk about LinkedIn as a Rolodex.
It's
a Rolodex. It's want to go.
What do you think?
I try not to go on LinkedIn.
You're crossing a lot of different social media, so.
Yeah, but I always feel, and I say this to people that I work with, don't rely on social media. It's the offline. It's going and meeting people face to face, networking, going to events, people buy from people.
But people buy from people, but then you get the other people as well that say, I'm sick to death going to networking meetings and everything.
Yeah.
So there's find something that you're comfortable with and roll with it. Would that probably be the best?
Yeah, well, I know, and Emer and Vicky would be sick of me because I'm always harping on about this, but I feel that every business has to start from a place of a strategic point. Develop a strategy for your business, whether you are a hairdresser, a butcher, a multinational, and define ultimately your audience, who are those customer personas, what are their needs and wants, because the amount of companies that I have talked to say, tell me why your customers work with you, haven't a clue. All right. So is it because of your services, your products? Oh, geez, we don't know. They're
just coming back to
They're just coming back. And, as I say, well, put yourself in a scenario. If they're only working with you because you're the only company that offers that service, what if a competitor comes in and suddenly they all go because you haven't created that customer experience? So I always feel that, exactly as Emer says, social, it is another tactic. My background was direct mail. And that is making a comeback. I've seen loads of articles about personalised direct mail.
I've used it and it's worked.
It is.
It's a lumpy
It works
mail,
because
they
it's
call it.
different, though.
Yeah.
It's
works,
di-
it's
now
different.
it's different, yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
It works
and it's the
different.
trust thing as well.
But everybody keeps coming back and saying, "Oh, I'm not getting much reach, and do I have to pay for paid ads?" And I'm like going, "Well, what's your content mix? Who are you targeting? Who are you speaking
But you're sitting
to?"
down, you're sitting down and training people how
Yeah.
to use all this.
Yeah, I start from the ground up, and this is what a lot of people forget.
Yeah.
Are you optimized? Is your each of your platforms fully filled in,
Digitalised,
so to
filled
speak?
in, yeah.
Have you got all the pieces of the puzzle put in? Because otherwise, people think, "Oh, I couldn't find a phone number. I didn't know where they're located. I don't know what days they're open." And I'm looking in disbelief, going, "You haven't filled all this in." And they went, "Oh, I didn't know you had to."
It's the most amazing thing that you'll find that some companies don't even have their telephone number on their website, and then you'll click on it and find it up on Facebook.
Yeah.
And you go, what? Okay, so they're not hiding it. And then, and one thing about LinkedIn as well, if I ring a company and it gets a receptionist and I go, "Can I speak to such and such?" "Oh, no." "Can I have his email address?" "Oh, we don't give that out on here." And I go, "Oh, it's okay, I found him on LinkedIn."
Yeah.
Why are we hiding these barriers and on other end you're giving the information out?
And then some people don't have their social media icons on their website.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no. I know we haven't been talking about that, right? I've just been.
That's just a plug-in.
Yeah, it's just a plug in. You see, this is what I come back to. It's for me. It's a face-to-face thing that you were talking about, Philip.
Yeah.
We're all talking about. I've banged on about this example on LinkedIn for years, but every month I do minimum five meetings face-to-face with LinkedIn connections abroad.
Yeah.
That's a purely good separate. And I do it away, not here, because there's no exhibition market in Ireland. It's big, so I will go and do that, and that's where I spend the time networking. But that works. Because, and it did, as you were right talking about earlier on, Joe, it did come from LinkedIn originally, but now face-to-face, marketing yourself between having a LinkedIn presence, a meeting that's where the magic happens when you do that. Meet the two of them.
Yeah, but look, I've learned
avoided
it's
your question, by the way.
I've learned that it's quite simple. Social media is only letting people know that you exist. You are there. You're talking some sense. You are not talking apples and trying to sell tractors. That's what social media. The next thing is then to try and get someone in your network to have a conversation with them. And the conversation for you is going to London and meeting them over coffee. My conversation is getting someone on Zoom and having a video chat with them.
But it
on
doesn't matter what it
Zoom.
is, Joe. I think
No,
once
but it's
you're
that.
establishing that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't have to be face-to-face,
And
whatever
then
works.
it's establishing that they are under the impression and know that you're meeting them not just for a coffee, but you want to see if you can do business with them.
But you know what's interesting?
Because you don't have lots of coffees.
I agree. No, I agree with you. But
Yeah.
what is interesting about the networking thing is, I do the Entrepreneurs Academy. I'm a sales trainer for those guys, and when I trained 40 companies about 3 weeks ago, really young companies, I said, "What do you think about networking?" And I said, "Well, I don't have time to go out and have coffees." I said, "What about online networking?" And they're looking at me like I had 10 heads or something. Networking is not having to have coffee.
Yeah.
No.
It's all the other things you can do together. I don't know.
How much,
not perfect,
how much time is allocated to Twitter? For do you know, like you have the Monday you're doing the
Business Hour.
Mead Business Hour
oh yeah.
on hour, but some people say, okay, you should be posting 50 times a day on Twitter. Some people say you should be posting 10 times a day on Twitter. Who's got time to be posting on Twitter 10, 20 times a day?
I always think it's good to share something of your own, but also then share things that would interest your audience that other people have. So a retweet, you could do maybe 5 or 6 retweets, your own couple of tweets. I think otherwise it's overkill. And then on top of that, I mean, I don't have time to be on Twitter 7 hours a day, 8 hours a day, because I have other things to do. So I think it's, saying what quality tweets you're putting out there.
Is there an optimum number, do you think, though?
I don't know. I hear
Like,
mixed.
Twitter
I
say
mean,
this should be 6 or 10 or...
so
I don't know. Just
10 to 15 is what I'm hearing back from other people.
But
But
in your opinion-
really, to be honest, I like to do it where it's like around the sort of 10 mark, so, give out, Mix
Yeah.
it up, you know,
Yeah.
and at different times a day.
Because if I think if you're on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn on a regular basis, you get no work done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we taking a quick break?
Yeah, we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back, guys.
Broadcasting to our community, we're the station that cares.
Dublin South FM.
Welcome back to the Business Eye with Joe Dalton and Stephen Murtagh. So, guys, what's your favourite social media channel? Platform? One
Everything.
choice. No, I know you're going to say it. What's for
Personally
you?
or in business?
No, business-wise, first of all. But I guess both, actually.
Instagram at the minute for me.
Okay. Business? Or is that the business one?
That would be the business one. Personally, Facebook.
Because Emer is the brand.
No, that's, I mean, well, everyone in this room is the brand, what they do, aren't they?
Yeah.
Philip, what about you? What's yours?
Yeah, I would be tied between LinkedIn and Instagram. LinkedIn more so for the business, but Instagram, because of some tweaks I've made, has been very interesting. So
Must have a look at that, actually.
Did you have you?
Shouldn't even have to ask you.
Shouldn't have to ask me. LinkedIn. And then for personal, I just use the phone. I'm real old school, you know.
It. I like it. What about you, Joe?
Someone asked me LinkedIn, but someone asked me the other day, "Can I send you an email?" I says no.
No.
I said I don't do email, and they looked at me with what I says. Get them to ring me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't do business cards. I do LinkedIn connections. That's
Yeah.
my thing.
I started to do this.
So I lose
that you
business
can't
cards.
see is this little sticker with a QR code for it.
Oh, QR code on the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a
Click it
bit
in.
basic, but it works.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it works.
There you go.
I'm getting new
works on
business
it.
cards up, so yeah, that's good.
It's just
So,
Vistaprint,
hashtags.
£6.
Hashtags. Do you use a hashtag?
I do, but I don't think they're as great on LinkedIn as they are for Twitter. But I do use a few hashtags depending on the industry I'm after.
I use my own hashtag, Breakthrough Brands, on everything on LinkedIn
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
So that means click on it,
You get,
you get everything
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Yourself?
totally agree. Yeah, use a branded hashtag. Pretty marketer tip.
Yeah.
Hashtags on LinkedIn, I would tend to maybe 2 to 3, depending on the post.
Yeah.
Twitter, I tend to not use more than 2.
You can only use 3, up to max of 3 on Twitter,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, and even maybe 1, because I kind of feel, just from the search point, I've always felt there's more successful one on Twitter. Instagram, 20 to 30.
Yeah.
20 to 30.
Yeah, no, I couldn't think of 20, 30 hashtags.
But there's some great tools out there.
I know what I did, yeah, but it's
Aimer will think of a few for you.
yes, yeah. Break off. Stephen, hashtag.
Yeah, I use 2 exhibitions work and the exhibition guy and a hashtag on everything. I do. Same
What about-
2 every time.
I'm getting into using my name as well as a hashtag. Should you agree or disagree on that?
It depends on the brand.
And I'll
Yeah,
tell you
that's your
why.
brand.
My brand is me.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm using it is because if someone shares one of my posts, they'll see Joe Dalton hashtag and they'll click on it, and then they'll get the volume of all the
Yeah.
other stuff that we've
Makes
done.
sense.
on it.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah.
On it.
Where's the development, guys, for social media in the next 12 months? Where do you see it going? I mean, video is obviously big and growing.
Live video.
Live video.
Live video, like we know that LinkedIn is rolling it out over in the States, so it's invitation only at the moment. So that's where it's really going. I think they're taking a lot of the Facebook attributes and applying it to LinkedIn. You mentioned I don't have reactions on my LinkedIn. You do.
I don't know, how come I haven't, you don't?
They're rolling it out to different people. They,
Is that the one where you swipe to the left and
yeah.
swipe to the right?
No, it's
No,
this
no,
one
it's
where
when you
you
hit the little thumbs up normally.
Oh, yeah.
And they should pop up then.
there's 4 different ones.
Oh,
There's
I've seen
there's-
it, yeah.
There's a heart says I love this post. There's a clap which says applaud it. Then there's the one which I think is the best one, is the insightful one. Because actually what I'm doing now is I'm tagging the insightful one on people's posts that I think I want to go back to.
Yeah.
So I think the insightful one's really good actually. But it's a little bit Facebookish maybe.
Yeah, and that's the danger with
I
it.
agree.
There was a LinkedIn did have it where you could swipe to the left, and then any of those posts that were similar to that, you'd pick them up, or swipe to the right. You went. They've done away with that.
Yeah, they change it all the time. The
Yeah.
same with Facebook. The platform is constantly moving.
And the other thing that I don't like as well is when someone goes, This is LinkedIn. Don't post that on LinkedIn. That's for Facebook."
That's just a troll
Feck
trying to
off.
get
Yeah,
get into your feed. Just
Yeah.
I just
Purpose
ignore
all the
them.
way.
Don't even
So,
give them the.
Yeah.
that brings up a very good question. Trolls. How do you handle trolls?
You need to move off Facebook and come over to LinkedIn. There's not as many trolls on LinkedIn, people.
Totally agree.
We're
Totally
way
agree.
more professional
Yeah,
on
yeah,
LinkedIn
absolutely
because
agree.
you're hurting your brand.
Yeah, with trolls, I've always followed by this exact advice. I think if someone comes onto, say, your Facebook page and gives a really nasty comment, I always feel it's best as the business to show your community that you can answer that comment in a very professional manner, and show it outwardly, publicly. And if the troll comes back again, you kind of answer once again professionally, and once again kind of say, let's take this offline, let's direct what we'd like to miss. And if they continue on, your community will see for what it is, and then you can choose to ban, remove, whatever.
Yeah.
It just makes you look better in some ways.
I use a
actually.
really different approach, actually. If I get a troll, I find their IP address and then I call around to the house.
What happens if they're in Kerry?
I'll fly anywhere in the world.
Dublin South FM is not doing any violence.
Yes. Yeah, that happened in London. There was a guy, a boxer, was getting trolled by someone, and he found out where he was, and he knocked to his door.
right.
And he
Nice.
wanted all apologies and everything as well. So we've come to where we used to meet people in the bar. Do you remember years ago when you'd meet someone in work and you go, I'll meet you for a coffee in a bar, and everyone got to cafes and all. So social media is everyone needs to be on it, or does everyone think they need to be on it? That is the question.
You are expected in this day and age to be on social media, you know, especially when I'm doing training with people to go, I don't know which platform to be on. I said, what are you the most comfortable with? So I would deal a lot with one-to-ones with small business owners that probably feel far more confident on Facebook. So I'd say, right, let's let you really get you up to speed with that. And then once you understand your tone of voice, how to write the right captions, your
Because people
confidence.
can't feel their energy in a message.
No.
Yeah.
So that's where they kind of go, oh, tone of voice. And I go, yeah, you use your emojis. So, I mean, you and I can have a bit of a banter and a bit of a wink here today. But they might not get that and might be put off by you.
Yeah.
You know? And I always say, look, have the one good platform for you. And then maybe venture out onto something like, okay, look, maybe Instagram if you're a very visual business, because then it's kind of similar in some way because you can kind of have the same tone of voice. Where if you go onto LinkedIn or Twitter, it's very different for you, you know?
But we're all trying to build our tribes and our communities, and that's really what it's about. It's building that network on inside. And I know that LinkedIn groups are dead.
Yeah.
Completely wasted
Facebook
time.
is
They're
different.
trying to
They're trying to rejig them up again, yeah.
Facebook is a place for groups, but you have to manage them. Do you know, there's so many groups, and then they just fall apart because people don't have the time and the effort to get involved in them. Yeah. So a question I have for you is, if you're doing all your business on LinkedIn and you want to build your tribe to a private group, do you then from LinkedIn send them to Facebook, or how does that, do you know, if you want to have that sort of close connection and give those secrets to
There's
those
a lot of people not on Facebook as well. I think people are moving off it. So I quite like Slack and creating different channels and having, I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Slack. I find that really good for a communications platform and very powerful. You can have different channels and you can, you know, talk in different channels and tag people. I quite like that for me, but Facebook is
the group. Now, here's a lot of people aren't signing off Facebook. They're only deleting the app from their phone, but they're not actually removing their account.
Delete it.
Yeah.
Can't stand Facebook.
Well, you never could.
I hate it as well, I have to say, but I'm on it for groups.
Facebook was excellent for me because I had friends all around the world. I spoke to them on there. We shared the photographs. We had a banter, and it was private between myself and my mates having a bash.
I'm more of a phone girl. I like
But you
ringing
know, you
people.
can't speak someone in Panama or you know, or someone in America, and all connecting with their kids. And now that's evolving because I think Facebook got greedy.
Well, they bought WhatsApp, didn't they?
they
I was
do.
going to say WhatsApp
I was
is
gonna
actually a good
say-
platform for communication.
It is.
Especially for businesses if they have like their VIP, they might customers, so they might decide I'll put together a WhatsApp group and roll out special offers to you through that. It gains a bit of trust and loyalty.
But it's owned by Facebook.
I know.
We think for you, like
I know. I'm not on
Yeah.
Instagram really either.
We're
so.
talking about him, but what about YouTube?
I just set up a
YouTube.
YouTube account there recently,
Yeah.
and I found it very good, and I have to say, and posting videos on YouTube. I post a lot on LinkedIn.
I've all my podcasts go up into video and go
Me too,
up on
I think
YouTube, and I do.
really
But
good.
what's your thoughts? And you know what? Actually, here's something for you. I have insight on my website. Okay, so it tells me where everything comes in through in the back end, and the majority of my people that hit my website come from YouTube.
So you're checking your
yeah.
Google Analytics then.
Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah,
for you.
yeah, I do. Yeah, but so that's what it means. So even though I'm
What
on
keywords
LinkedIn,
are you using then for what keywords are you using in your YouTube videos?
I'm tagging Joe Dalton, Breakthrough Brands, depending if it's sales or marketing, and the person's name that I'll interview as well, or if it's depending what video I do. So I only use 5 tags on YouTube.
Like how to is a big one.
Oh no, yeah, how to is up on the top, and when you're thinking put the tags, everything is how to whatever. And then I'll put, because of my backlinks, I'll have the website back on it and a call to action there. But the majority of the people that are hitting my website are from YouTube, which is quite interesting. Yeah.
I think it's the power of the video again. Like
Yeah.
I use a tool called Tube Buddy, which you can connect to your YouTube channel. And what it does is it will give you recommended tags, keywords to implement. It'll also show you if you're missing best practices on a video before you post it. It'll allow you to do the end cards and the end screen submissions. And definitely those little kind of finite tweaks that you can do on a YouTube video do make, like, just to throw into the conversation, I will always say to people, don't discard the power of email, because we've seen it with Facebook, the way last year the algorithm changed, and even a few years ago organic reach on Facebook has plummeted. And I'm always for one to say, don't build all of your community purely social, because an email list is gold. You can then you can send
It's
out
still the best.
still the best.
Yeah, it
And
still is.
it's still the best. I was Infusionsoft. I was probably one of the first in Ireland to use Infusionsoft, and I got rid of it. And I have Active Campaign.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Very good.
And I find it
Brilliant.
I probably because I was intuitively knew what I was doing from Infusionsoft,
Yeah.
that I got on it, and I learned it in probably maybe a day.
Yeah.
The whole platform on it. But one of the things which is we have to take our hats off and be very sad as well for social media. Google Plus is no longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been gone a long time, really.
It's gone a long time, but it's
Yeah.
officially gone.
It's officially
there.
gone.
Yeah, so Google.
Google plus. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gone.
On it then as well. But yes, email marketing is, as I always say to people, an email marketing, if you have an email address, it's like getting in someone's house when they're watching Coronation Street on a Sunday evening.
That's exactly it. And on that kind note, we'll take a break.
93.9 Dublin South FM.
Guys, we were talking there during the break about what's our why and all about it. So now we'll start with Emer. See, you're sitting right beside me here. What is your why? What is it for you?
I love sitting down with people one-to-one and making them feel good. So I like understanding the fact that I am a small business owner myself. Before social media came along, I, was like everyone else. You would put an ad in a magazine, newspaper, didn't have money for radio, whatever. And then as social media unfolded and I started getting into social media and then down the training route, I started to say, look, this has got a lot of benefits. And then working with people that go, oh, I haven't a clue about this. Oh, like I'm a viewer, I'm not a doer. And that's my mantra. And I say, look, I've been there. I was that soldier. So I like to take people down and go, look, I have an understanding of how you feel. Because a lot of people don't. They go to these workshops and they get thrown blinded with science, walk away and then go, oh my God, I haven't a clue what to do. And what was that tool and how do you use it? And then they don't have time and then they just go, oh, forget this. So what I do,
have that or you're absolutely
yeah.
right. You
So
do.
I work with them and I go, look, I'm there. I'm your buddy. I'm on your team. And that's why I became a social media personal trainer, because there's a lot of people out there. They get an accountant to do their accounts. They don't maybe have the money then to have management. So doing it themselves and doing it within their understanding and knowledge levels and ability.
Was it a bank you were beforehand, working in a bank?
No, I worked for the Irish Stock Exchange, so they're
Okay.
devil in detail people.
Yeah.
And then I went and worked for Disney, and that is like, you know, one of the amazing companies to work for. And then one of the best jobs I ever worked for in was St. John of God's, marketing people's abilities as opposed to their disabilities. So giving people that ability to get out there and feel confident. And, you know, I worked with people that were blind, people that had Down syndrome, and it made you feel, you know what, that's great. They're out there and they're achieving something. And it's always
you're
stuck
humble.
with me.
Make
Yeah,
you humble.
yeah.
Phil-
Especially
Philip,
when they go off and they're, one guy I worked with, he was nearsighted, and he was on the canoeing team for the Special Olympics for Ireland, and he won gold. So, you know, people like that kind of stick with you. And then you say, you know what, I can't know everything. So that's why when I sit down with people, I say, look, let's start from the start and go forward.
Do you write the accounts? So when you're saying about accounts, you get an accountant, so you get accounts. You get somebody else to do that. You go to a doctor when you're feeling sick.
Yeah.
It is important. You can't do everything.
No.
How do you find it, Philip? Then on your side,
Yeah, like I suppose my background would have been I was always in client service. You know, I would have worked in a couple of the kind of creative agencies, and then I was head of sales and marketing in a direct mail marketing company. But it was always client service, and I'd always had this dream to, I suppose, to tap into my creative side, because I enjoy writing, you know, trying to be funny or strategic, but also put in a bit of graphic design as well, and then start to move into video. And I really embraced digital, you know, and I kind of felt, listen, maybe this is the time to make that move, you know, don't have any regrets, you know, go out, supported by my wife, which is fantastic. And it meant that I could obviously be there with the kids, but to be fostering my passion, you know, to actually be creating social media content and strategy. And yeah, and it's great now to go in and meet people who are experts in their business, but who want to get on social and kind of say, Philip, this is my problem. This is what I want to do. Can you create something, a video, an image, get me on Twitter and make it come alive? And I suppose as I'd got this tip from a client where it was basically to always every day take a step back and write down in your journal good things that have happened to you. And, you know, when I kind of look back now, all the things I've sort of achieved, Jesus, there I am making videos
Setting
for
intentions.
Yeah, setting intentions. And it's kind of, I think that's what I love now, is that kind of what I'm doing is actually helping my clients achieve their goals and dreams, and I'm doing what I love. So yeah, so it's great. Like, so yeah.
we've got to ask. LinkedIn lady, we've got to ask.
Well, yeah. So I suppose my background is corporate banking, and I was made redundant in late 2014. So I went off and did a postgrad in entrepreneurship, innovation, and enterprise in UCD, and I learned all about the lean methodology. And I just thought, this is so cool. I really want to apply this to business. How do I do it? And I fell into digital marketing and figured out that you can't be everything to everyone. So I then niched down to LinkedIn, which really suited my skills from my background, and went into B2B. So that's really where I suppose I kind of started off.
And why do you do what you do?
Why do I do what I do? Why do I do what I do?
She loves LinkedIn.
I love LinkedIn.
You love people. You love the connection.
It's So we were talking earlier about networking and all that kind of good stuff, and how it takes up so much time. I think networking is really important. The great thing about LinkedIn is that you can connect with people, and you can connect in a meaningful way and connect with commonality and give value. So I'm all about providing value, and any of my posts I try and provide as much value as I can. And that's kind of my mantra, that, you know, and the other thing about LinkedIn is, you know, people do business with people. We touched on that as well. They don't do business with a brand. They do business with the person.
Yeah, I agree totally.
So, so that's kind of where I focus on.
Stephen.
Me, what's my why? Well, after spending 25 years in the exhibition world, I fell into it purely by chance. I was selling office equipment, I was selling Yellow Pages, I was selling radio, and I fell into exhibitions by chance.
A welder.
I was a welder in BMW as well, yeah, I was a courier for Microsoft at one stage. But I fell into exhibitions and I just loved it. I loved seeing businesses do well, and I loved helping and being a small part of business success. And when it comes to exhibitions, it's a big investment in time, in money, in energy. And I see companies time and time again making a mess of it. So from my point of view, to bring the experience of that, sales, training, and loving seeing business succeed, the exhibition guy was an obvious one for me. Wouldn't change the industry. I absolutely adore exhibitions.
Did you see the post I shared with you from Benjamin?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
It's quite funny.
No, it was good. But for me, the real value is somebody coming back and saying, I took 3 things on board from your 7-step program and it worked. That's it. It's really simple.
Yeah.
And you, Joe, you're the man.
Why do I do what I do?
Yep.
Honestly, I genuinely want to see other people succeed. I want people to be successful. I want to help other people. And I have learned that if you really, really, really want to get on in life, if you want to be successful yourself, help someone else be successful, because by helping them, you are genuinely really helping yourself as well.
Yeah, good. It's a give and
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
It's great. Like when you're sitting down, I was doing Twitter training with a lady once, and she turned around and went, "So that's how it works." You know, when somebody says things like that, it makes you kind of go, "Yeah, there you go. Now you can go off and
Yeah, and that's it. It's, if you go into everything and give your best and say, I'm going to go above and beyond to help this person. And if you do that and you're genuinely about it and you're humble of how that person has come to you, magic happens. Magic really, really happens. And from there, the next step of your journey starts.
I totally agree, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's that simple, really.
What is the one thing you hate about each of the platforms that you use? Who wants to go first? I won't ask you, Stephen. You rant off.
You're right.
I use LinkedIn all the time, but the other tool that we use on LinkedIn is Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator and LinkedIn don't really talk to each other.
No, they do me
You're
head in,
messaging on LinkedIn and you're messaging on Sales Navigator. It's a nightmare. It's
clunky.
it's
Really is
very
clunky.
clunky.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I hate about my platform.
That's yours. Mine. It's
Mine.
My land.
Phil.
I love all the platforms. I think on Twitter, my big peeve is auto DMs. You know, these kind of, you follow someone and suddenly, hey, thanks for following me, get my free ebook and will you buy it for me? I hate that. I think you need to be personal in your DMs. On LinkedIn, a big bugbear of mine is I do find the system clunky. So if, for example, you do a post and you're tagging some people and you want to go in and edit that post, you lose all the tags and you just go back and do them all again. And that does sometimes happen with Facebook as well. What's my pet peeve with Facebook? I do sometimes kind of feel that the people you come across on Facebook are not as genuine as they come across, and they're purely just want to be your follower or your supporter without real engagement. On Instagram, while I love it, I think there's still a huge amount of fakeness. Like we were talking before we came out, where people are posting pictures of them standing beside their private jet, or there's profiles with 300,000 followers and they've put up 10 posts. It's ridiculous. Instagram.
Instagram.
Okay.
It's a nonsense, so there would be my kind of pet peeves. So.
How can you get 3,000 followers and have only 10 posts?
You can't, basically.
Yeah, you
pay
pay.
for them.
You pay for them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then it's people saying about hashtags like some of them like follow for follow, and I don't like seeing that on posts. Like for like, to me that's just like you're not being authentic or interested in anyone else but yourself. You know.
Well, that's it as well, isn't it, Stephen? Right, everyone will just get a coffee here.
You just get your code for finish. LinkedIn is the only one of the peeves I have is writing articles on LinkedIn where the actual style of text, I just can't seem to get that right on LinkedIn. I don't know what it is about it, and I do a lot of articles, so I find it frustrating. The only other pet hate is I hate Facebook. That's all.
Yeah,
Stand Facebook.
Yeah.
The only,
Me too.
I think so. The only thing that I dislike is articles. You used to be able to put up video easily and podcasts easily on your articles, in whatever way they did it. You can't even put up infographics now on your articles anymore.
Yeah.
It's such a simple fix. I don't know,
but they don't do it. Where can people find you quickly? We've got about 2 minutes left.
Yeah,
so
2 minutes.
where
You can find me on my website, markofbathing.com, or you can follow me on LinkedIn. So I'm under Vicky Keenan on LinkedIn and really the other platforms.
at the other as well?
I'll give you the website. It's the curlymarketer.com.
fitsocialmedia.ie and all the platforms, including LinkedIn.
It's got to be Stephen Murphy, the exhibition guy, on LinkedIn or Twitter, and not on Facebook.
And myself is joedalton.ie. Before we go, I have one question that I need to ask is all. Okay. One thing that I'm not comfortable with
need to make this quick, by the way.
one thing I'm not comfortable with is doing a live video on my own, just talking into the screen. How do you overcome that?
Don't look at me.
I
Philip's good.
think you basically have to have a script done and just go for it.
Yeah, I don't believe in scripts.
I think I did one the other day and I kicked the tripod in the middle of the video and I said, you know what, I'm not going to re-record it, I'm just going to put it out as is. That's what I do now, record it and just lash it out as is. I don't care what it looks like.
Imperfect
It's the
action.
message. Yeah, absolutely.
Just go for it, you know.
100%.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Folks, thank you very much for coming on to
pleasure.
Business Eye.
Thank you very
And
much. Thanks for having
we
me.
had fun and we'll catch you again. And to everyone, we'll see you next Friday.
Bye for now.
Broadcasting from the Dundrum Town Centre. This is Dublin